I was listening to the Northside Territory this weekend with Sahadev and Patrick Mooney. And
right, shout out to those guys.
Mooney hinted at something that I've been thinking for a while, because I've been saying to myself, what's the Cubs' plan? What are they trying to do here? And I just want to throw this out. I just want to just let it marinate for a bit. Is there a chance that their plan is guys like Suzuki, Happ, Horner, whatever, are really kind of stopgap guys to just try and be competitive in the meantime? And their real long-term plan was, hey, let's get Shaw up here. Let's get Casey up here. Let's get Cade up here. All these things. Have that be the, hey, we're trying to build this next great Cubs team, but we know we can't do another rebuild. The fans will be too upset. So they're just trying to kind of have their cake and eat it too with, hey, maybe we'll be competitive with the Horners of the world and the Suzukis and the Happs of the world. But really, the long-term plan is something different. Is that possible?
Okay, I think there's a good chance that Sam is right here, and that the Cubs' plan probably has been to simply tread water until enough of their prospects are ready to graduate to the majors and play. But that is a horrible plan if that's what they're doing, for two reasons. One, there are absolutely no guarantees that any of our prospects pan out. Making it to the major leagues is a big step in itself. Being successful in the major leagues is something else entirely. I don't know what the failure rate of prospects becoming good major league players is, but I'm willing to bet it's above 90%. To pin your hopes solely on this is just plain dumb. But of course, this is the favored way for front offices to try and build a winner on the cheap, which we all know the Cubs are. And reason number two that this is a horrible plan is that they're the Chicago frickin' Cubs. They are not the mid-market Mariners or Cardinals. They are kings in the third largest market in the country and generated the third most revenue in baseball in 2023, earning more than the Astros, Phillies, Braves, and even the Mets, who all spent more than the Cubs this season. Teams like the Mariners and Cardinals are forced into operating their teams that way because they simply don't earn as much money as the Cubs. The Cubs are not forced into doing that. They do it because they want to, because Ricketts is a typical cheap, Midwestern, old-fashioned owner. And they feel like they can get away with this nonsense because they play in a horrible division with a bunch of low-payroll teams. Hey, as long as we're spending more than those guys, but not actually enough to win, our mostly stupid fans will believe we're actually trying. No, I can see right through that bullshit, Mr. Ricketts. We can see here the luxury tax threshold for 2025 is set at $241 million, and the Cubs currently have on their books for 2025 only $170.5 million, leaving them under the cap by around $70 million. But apparently they don't want to even come close to the cap, which is ludicrous for a team that makes as much money as they do. The best thing that could happen to the Cubs would be divisional realignment, where we are forced into the NL East or West. Then they wouldn't be able to pull this bullshit anymore.
In this moment in time, after exiting that era, I do wonder, like, if Jed Hoyer was on this show, what is it playing out as he visualized?
Yeah.
Because you need to have both. You need to have internal studs, dudes that show up every day, that are those 4-5 win guys, but leaving room or leaving the possibility for external additions. It's odd that in terms of reviewing this idea of the Cubs squandering opportunity, I think it's pretty set that the Cubs are going to add a quality starting pitcher, 2 quality relief pitchers, and a veteran catcher. Like, that's going to happen. They're also likely going to pick up a veteran middle infielder and or a veteran outfielder as 2 bench pieces right there. Okay.
Yeah.
They obviously recorded this before they heard about the Matthew Boyd signing. We kept hearing the Cubs were going to be buyers in the middle tier, but they couldn't even manage that. They went straight to the lower tier with Boyd, and that's probably the one starter they're going to sign, with Sasaki being a wild card. That's it, unless they surprise us all with a big trade. It almost feels like the Cubs are trolling us now, operating this way. Hey, let's make another bargain bin clearance aisle signing, tell the fans it's for more depth and that he's a great clubhouse guy, and watch them all go crazy! If Ricketts wants to continue operating the team this way, he needs to sell them. The goal should never be to simply win the division and be the best out of a subpar 5-team conference. The goal should always be, each and every year to win the World Series. If that's not your goal every year, what the hell is the point of any of this?